Hello everyone, this is Mr. Fahrenheit from VEC, and today is October 10th, 2022. We're doing today a tier list of all the troops in Out of War Legions. The tier list here is going to be across all game modes, not necessarily only Arena. And I'm going through tiers from S to WTF, meaning that I really don't know what the developers were thinking when they introduced that troop. Outside of that, this is happening almost live, meaning that even though I'm recording it, however, the thinking is happening live. So you might see me adjusting often, and I'm not going to do any post-recording edits to this video. So with that, let's start. All right, so on the tier here, I have all the troops, and I don't know, should we start from the bottom or the top? I literally took screenshots from Out of War game as is and imported it here into Tier Maker. I will leave Tier Maker description, website link in the description. Okay, let's start from the Hell Jailers. So Hell Jailers, they do not have any value outside of very early on if you're just starting the game, passing through levels up until you start having a little bit more rare troops. So I would say Hell Jailers go into E because they do have a value. It's just not a good value, and they move forward. So I don't know, I think, to be honest, I wouldn't call them F because they still have value. For now, let's add all the common troops in the A tier for a second here, and then we'll see how it goes. By the way, I have the theme here to reflect Halloween, given that we are approaching Halloween. So happy Halloween for those of you who enjoy celebrating and doing some costumes. Let me know what you're planning, if you are at all on wearing any costumes, what you have in mind. I'm still looking for one. Okay, so Undead Soldiers. Undead Soldiers are really helpful in multiple game modes. They can be useful in hero trials-ish, not that much. If hero trials alone, they will be like an E, definitely not an F. They are useful in honor hunting. I use them personally in Ice Dragon, Cerberus, or whatever they call it, and Cyclops. And in Arena, they are great tanks with Ali. They can be back rank used. I think they're in the C tier easily for now. We'll readjust as we go. Okay, so Ghost Assassins. Again, super helpful, super useful in hero trials, in some Infinity Wars. You can actually use them in, of course you use them in Arena. They are useful troops there as a sacrifice troop. They are useful as an attack troop. They are useful to have them on the side of, for example, Ali, because if Celine gets her first shot on Ali, you're lost. So you should have at least one on the side of Ali. Interesting. I think I would definitely, just because it's going to be really tough going up, I would definitely rank them in the B tier. Okay, so Goblin Techs. Yeah, let's put them in the B tier and see later what happens. So Goblin Techs are the kings of Infinity War, and you will see them in Arena. Celine, Xion or Kione, Ali can actually, I can see some forms using it, both attack and defense. Hero trial, that would be, I don't know. Yeah, that would be weird. But honor hunting, they are useful for a trick. Yeah, I would put them, just because we're doing this across all game levels, I would definitely put them in the B tier. So what that means is, if you have a level 8 or 9, like, you're still doing well here, but you definitely can upgrade them to 10, and you can upgrade many to 10. But I would do this just given that I can have and be useful literally 40 goblin techs, versus I would never be 40 goblin techs level 10, but I would never do that for ghost assassins yet. All right, I think that makes way more sense. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue and see where we end up with the ranking. Cactuses. So the cactuses are not necessarily... Oh, that's Google by mistake. Okay, continuing. So you can see I'm not editing anything. That's Google interrupting me. Hey Google, stop music. I did not ask you to play music. Alright, so cactuses, they're definitely not a good troop. They have the reflection, but I would not upgrade 1 to 9 to start with. And given that they are a rare troop, not even a common troop, so not even like a starting troop. You know what? We should actually downgrade all of the above into an F, because you use them once and then you drop them completely. And you go into an E just because you're a rare troop. Or even an F because you're a rare troop that's not being used at all. Yeah. I think that's fair. You're a rare troop and you're still useless. At least that's where I see them. Okay, Goblikazis. So Goblikazis, on the other hand, are definitely useful in Arena, of course. I don't know if you want to put them in Hero Trials, but I mean, you can. They can be doing something for you. They're not used in, or they shouldn't be used in Infinity War. It's a long-lasting war, so you need your troops alive. And Hero Trials, as I mentioned, not definitely not honor hunting or clan hunting. So because of their high value in Arena, they go into the D tier. I would definitely have 3 or 4 level 10, but that would be it. That would be it. I mean, they're on the same level of undead soldiers if you're thinking from Arena perspective, but given that we're doing it across all game modes, I would not consider that. Alright, so next is the Ogre, and literally useless regardless where you're at. So this goes into the WTF section. What were you thinking when you introduced this troop? I mean, at least do something with it. Change its characters. Maybe when you introduce it early on in the game, it made sense. But now, with all the new troops that we have, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's easy classification. Never upgrade it to 9. 8 is there for fusion. Don't do that. Don't do more than that with it. Paladins, I can see some value in it. Just having it in I would say early on in the game / honor hunting can be useful. I've seen level 10 paladins around. They changed a little bit my mind, so they definitely go into the E tier, because I would not put them in Arena. I mean, very early on, sure, but the moment you have anything else, you need to take them out. Harbinger of Fire, they definitely follow the Paladins on the same track. They are useful in some Infinity War. They can be useful if you're missing a lot of troops and some honor hunting. Never Arena, never Hero Trials. Okay, so I'll put them in the E tier. Inquisitors go right here next to the Ogres, because they are meant to be an attacking troop. And yes, you use them early on, but here's the thing. The reason you are, like, this is a rare troop. we're comparing it to Ghost Assassins, for example, or the Magic Apprentices we're coming up to, it doesn't make sense why they're extremely dumb as a troop. They're 9 load, they should be making some special work around them, you know, like they should have some special skill or like anything that makes them stand out. Yeah, in short, completely useless. I would say maybe if you put them, I don't think even in hero trials, in honor hunting, I would not change this. No. Scholars, again, what was that? What are you trying to do? What's the option? Like, why would I care about scholars? I actually had the scholar level 9 when I first started the game, and that was one of the first I threw out. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I threw out when the game ended, like when I started going up in the game rank. I mean, they literally have no skill whatsoever. And yes, they have like some form of a magic attack. And it's an AoE, but their defense is so low. They're extremely slow. Their shooting range, I mean, they're single load, like they're like a very weak priest mage, because they do have that rounded damage. Maybe in the F tier, because like I can see if you have it early on and it can be useful, but after that, yeah, I'll put it next to the cactus, I think. Okay, so the ballista, because of its crits, it's one of the most used tools if you're attacking Xion with Jin. It definitely goes into the B tier. I've seen people who have 6 to 10 different level 10 ballistas. I wouldn't say you'll have 40 of it, but definitely useful in Infinity War, definitely useful in Hero. I mean, you can use it in Hero Trial. I wouldn't recommend it because you'll always face a Davy and a Davy reflection. Oh, yeah, you go into the C tier. It's not Hero Trial, it's not honor hunting. Yeah, definitely great in Arena though. So that makes it into the C or D? They're being downgraded by the second. Okay. So I think it's definitely in the D tier. Cross game. Ice mages, yeah, same as ballistas. Maybe even on the E, but just because they still have this like usefulness with Jin as a hero on Arena, they make them a little bit more valuable than those two, because you can still use them in like the Champions Cup. You can use them, and yeah, there's plenty of places where I would put an Ice Mage. Definitely not an honor hunting, but it can be useful. Viking goes right here. I don't know what to say here. I have no idea why this exists. What was the purpose? The only thing a Viking has from a skill, I think it's called Rage, and the Viking Rage is just yeah, like some attack increase when its health gets to 150% or something, and maybe attack speed, but still, like, what's the purpose? It's extremely weak from physical attack. I know it's a rare troop, but I would never upgrade it beyond 9 or 10. Beyond 8, sorry. Like 8 and then fusion. Like I would. It has no value in Infinity War, no value anywhere else. There's hundreds of other troops I would spend my medals on. Magic Apprentice is definitely a B tier. Maybe if we're doing this last year, I would say it will go to the A easily, but given that I would have way more Magic Apprentices than GAs. GAs are easily counted with gobs, versus Magic Apprentices are not as easily. And yeah, I mean, they're great with Selene, they're great in Infinity War, they're great in some honor hunting, I mean, you can use them. You should. I think you can use some if you don't have that many troops. They do okay damage in Cerberus, or maybe not the Ice Dragon, but as a melee they have an AoE. Great with tactics, hero trials. Yeah, sure. I would definitely consider them as a B. I would not put them on the same level as Goblin Techs from an all-around, but yes. And they're great to counter Voodoos, by the way. Because when they are flying and to the back, yes, they get cursed, but they have damage immunity, so they cannot be affected if while they're flying. Let's say you have them and the Voodoo curse them, and they're still flying, and Davy like jumps on the Voodoos. The Voodoos die without applying the curse, so that is a great benefit. Okay, onward and to the next, the bandits. The bandits, he has the skill, the Knife Man skill, and that allows them to, I think, throw knives, like to do some form of like distance attack. I really don't remember exactly, but they're also like nothing beyond the level 8. I would say you can actually use them in not hero trial, in honor hunting. So they go probably somewhere here. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, I wouldn't put them beyond an E. They're definitely not on the level of the Gobs and the Ballistas and Ice Mage. Fire Mage is just a weaker version of an Ice Mage. I think, if I remember correctly, Fire Mage has overall stats wise, they have also like the magic attack, and yeah, like it's kind of like an advanced scholar, which makes me rethink about the scholar into like a WTF realm. Honestly, yeah, like you have the magic attack with a fire mage. What were you thinking? Like why is this a special thing? I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. I really don't know. There is, yeah, Fire Mage can be on the same level in the Ice Mage. I do prefer the Ice Mage because of the Ice skill, the Frost Explosion. Fire Mage does not have that, but they're also like high attackers if you put them with Jin. I actually dropped my 9. They don't have a skill. Maybe they shouldn't be on the same level. It's either here or here. Let's keep it here for a while and see. Alright, so we're going into right now the next section, and we are in the rare troops. No, epic troops, I'm sorry. Okay, I was like, we're done with the rare troops. With the epic troops, starting with the recent 2 additions to the epic troops, the Shadow Ninjas. Shadow Ninjas, they are one of the most phenomenal troops right now in Arena. I personally have 12 level 10 of them, and I'm grinding to get into 14 level 10. They are phenomenal in hero trials. They are phenomenal in honor hunting. They're not good at all in Infinity War because they have a single target. So I would say they're definitely an A. They don't qualify to an S tier, but they are definitely on the A tier from an all mode game ranking. It kind of like hurts me to not put them in the S tier, but we have to have, because the Undead Warriors. Name a place where the Undead Warriors are bad. They're probably the biggest, most important addition to the game. And okay, I'm just adjusting the screen really quick. Here you go. So the Undead Warriors are definitely an S tier. They're the highest damage dealing troop in honor hunting. the reason Arena flipped upside down because you like the moment they get to a stone golem, if you have them with Celine or Sion or Jin or Davy, they're like just balancing the game. Probably 4 or 6 of them can take Davy in less than take Davy down in less than 6 seconds. Probably even less than 4 seconds. And I did a full video on them. I'll leave, you might see it in either in the recommendation or in the description below. Undead Warriors probably is the most versatile troop. Infinity War, great damage. Hero Trial, if you want to put them in Hero Trial to take down Arthur really quickly on attack and defense. Yeah, they're definitely the top troop. Okay, so moving onward. The Dark Witch. The Dark Witch has a value in Arena. Very slight value if you're using it in the Ice Dragon. I mean, there are better control troops, of course. We're getting into one like the Pumpkin, but the Dark Witch, like, I would not use it there unless I'm completely out of troops. In Arena, it has a value. Hero Trial, I would not use it there. You don't have time to breathe. So, like, actually, heroes will take it down in no time. It's a hero game. Infinity War, yeah, maybe back in the days with the zoo, I would add one, but I would not have more than one. So yeah, more than one level 10 is more than enough. You go into the C tier, Pumpkin Guards. So with the addition of the Ice Dragon, the Pumpkin Guards became probably one of the most prominent troops in Hero Trials as well. People are running 18, 20, 22, whatever, so they can get more. And if you have 22 level 10, I think your Ice Dragon score would be somewhere in the crazy. So yeah, that makes them like an S-class Ice Dragon. However, Arena, they're useful if you're running Ali, maybe Celine, Sion early on, before you end up with better troops for her. So they have a value in Arena. And Infinity War, back in the day, I mean, they have some value. Hero Trial, they have value. Honor Hunting, they have value. I think they go into the B right here, more than the Goblin Tanks. Now, the 40 level 10 here is effective in Infinity War, but over here, it's more versatile. That's, yeah, like if you have, let's say, if you have like 40 Pumpkin Guards, you will not be using them all because that's kind of irrelevant with the Ice Dragon. But you can have like 20 of them and still use them. And you will put like 2 or 3 in, I mean, Infinity War, not really, but like, even if you're putting them in Arena with Ali, that would be kind of tricky. With Davy, can be tricky. Sion early on. Yeah, I see them right here. I think it's fair because they have value across all game modes. Voodoos upward. So Voodoos are extremely useful in honor hunting. They're like kind of number 1. And with Ali, Davy, Sion, Selena, unless you like, you need to make sure they're dying quickly so they can get the damage boost with Selene. The longer they last, the longer, I don't know, the less useful it is. But Hero Trials as well. I mean, you can put them in Infinity War too. They don't get targeted easily if you know how to place them, and they can give you a couple million in damage with the right against it if they're going against human troops at level 10. They are definitely less useful than the Shadow Ninjas, given I mean, they are an A troop, definitely A troop. It's just less useful here because it's a count that's missing and you don't get the distraction ability from them. movement, they're 9 load melee, moving semi-fast. You need to block them, you need to like worry about them, you still want them to die quickly to create that much damage early on in the game. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's right here, it's fair. I would have like 40 of them level 10 easily and not worry at all. I have only 12, I guess. Yeah, I'm planning on getting to 15. Soul Hunters, yeah. I mean, early on in the game, sure, but you will go like right here. They have some valid use in Infinity War, but outside of that, I don't know what we use them for. You can put one in Arena just as like a trap. They love going after Orc Hunters. I mean, but they're also not that good of a troop. It's a single load. It's strong. It heals itself. But yeah, we're getting into usefulness across everything. I mean, Infinity War. Don't put them in Hero Trials. Don't use them in. I mean, if you're putting them in Hero Trials, like it's nothing. You know, you're not doing anything. You're not stunning. If you're going against Ali, like you're losing. No value in honor hunting. I think they're on the top of the E tier. Yasha, that's a tough one because high value. Actually, no, because you have an Ice Dragon value. You don't have a value with the other two. There is. I mean, I would definitely put them in Hero Trials. I use them often in Arena. Infinity War, they have great value. I think they're also on the B tier, right? Yeah, like somewhere in here. Yeah, I think that's fair. I wouldn't have more than 2, even if you have an ally. Yeah, I think it's just an overkill. But yeah, I guess that's I'm thinking of like the gobs here, just because it's, yeah. Remember, this is across all game modes. Across all game modes. Okay, I keep trying to think from Arena perspective and end up there. And okay, so what we have here, the Necros. The Necros are useful in some honor hunting, maybe in some IW, but I wouldn't see, just because specific tactics. If you're running Ainz, for example, and the zoo back in the day before they changed to the jungle, you might need a couple necromancers. Never put them in Arena. Never use them in Hero Trials. You're just, yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive. That they go right, maybe here, just because I would definitely use them more than I would use a Soul Hunter. I think so. And back to some great troop like the Orc Hunters. So they have definitely some value in honor hunting. Great attacking troop in Arena, but both defense, offense. You can control flow of the game however you want through them. Useful in Hero Trials. Key element in many of the Infinity War. So they're definitely an A troop. I mean, if you're running Celine up to 10 with them, it's still great. I would still prefer more Voodoos than Orc Hunters, because I know, like, it's easier to counter Orc Hunters than to counter Voodoos. And onward we go into the Tour Switchers. Alright, so again, they have great value with Cyclops. The other two, no value. Arena, they're there, they're good damage dealers, but I wouldn't say they're helpful if you want to think about them if you have rows of Frost Archers, but they're like a B tier. They're a B tier because you can use them in some Infinity War back in the day. I'm sure you will start feeling like there is a use for them. I know they're shifting Infinity War often, so there is a use for them. But I think it's on the seat here. I do have 2 level 10 and 1 level 9. I mean, I use them. Yeah, I use them the same amount of times I use the Dark Witch, so. Oh, the Templar Knight. Okay, so this goes to the WTF bucket. And the WTF bucket is really what were you thinking? Like, tell me the objective, developers. Seriously, what are you trying to do? Anyhow, yeah, 0 value, never upgraded. This is a fusion troop. Actually, anything in the F and the WTF is 100% fusion troop. Over here, fuse if you at the E tier, fuse if you have good alternatives. But even at the D tier, you can fuse if you have a good alternative. Anyhow, so the Priest Mage. Priest Mage is the king of all mages, and it's one of the strongest attacking troops in the game. However, outside of the Champion Cup, where would you put it? Arena defense, you should not. I mean, you can have it, but it's rendered useless when Davy's attacking you. Hero Trials, similarly. And I mean, Infinity War, it can be useful because if you don't have as many gobs, it's a good attacking troop. I would say it's like a low B tier because you don't get to use it in other game modes, but at the same time, it does have value across Arena, Hero Trials, in some forms like attack versus defense, and Infinity War. Pilgrims, they are heavily used in every honor hunt and clan hunt, of course. They are one of the best troops for healing in Infinity War. So I would say from user perspective, they go right here. I wouldn't have that many of them on the level. You should not put them in Arena, they're completely useless. But I mean, some people use some tactics with them for Arena. I've seen some really funny things. I think they added value in specific attacking forms, but I think about it more of a joke than trueness here. Anyhow. Okay, so the Pirates. Pirates are a phenomenal control troop. They are one of the best troops in Arena. If this is an Arena rank, these go into the A class like immediately. But given their lack of, I mean, early on you can use them in some honor hunts, but they're not as valuable as the other troops. And Infinity War, also they're fillers. They're not much of a good troop there. And Hero Trial, they're good, like given that you can place a couple in the back to protect ally or like hold back the troops. But they also can create some confusion. That's a tough one. Where would you rank that? If I have to upgrade a level 10, but I'm building for Arena, yeah, like this is just the value for Arena, I think. Just because the value for Arena. They're definitely, if we're doing like, if this was, again, Arena only, this is an easy A. Easy class A. Just because, okay, Hero Trials, you have value. I think this is a tough one. Okay, I think this is fair. Right here. Yeah, I think this is fair. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so nuns. whether it is Arena, Hero Trials, Honor Hunt, Infinity Ward, you're using nuns. They're definitely a tier troop in the Art of War. Most definitely. Yeah, that's like not even a decision. That's not even a hard decision. Brawlers. So brawlers are not arena materials. I've seen some people trying them. They just don't do that well. You think you're blocking with them, they are creating some distraction, but in all honesty, they can't be taken down super easily. Like as much as they block, they're shoving off mere seconds. Any other tank like a Meteor Golem, Stone Golem would have been doing better because they're more attractive to attack. So and they create like distraction troops because they spread out really fast. So as a melee, so in arena, if you're like for example running alley, you're just distracting the troops. That is not a good thing. More often than not, if you have like Sion, Davy, etc., running brawlers, I mean, I would drop them for anything else. Really anything, any other troop. High blocking, but not. They're definitely not like barely a C level in arena. Hero Trial, they go up if you have an Arthur, just because the game is buggy. And Infinity Ward, they're a must. Honor Hunt, it's a must. I guess, yeah. I guess they're like on the level. I mean, they're higher than. I mean, I can't run any of these without Undead Soldiers. I just cannot do it. But Undead Soldiers are also more useful in arena. So I would say somewhere right here. It's a tough one. Oh, anyhow. So yeah, I think that's. Because the level 9 can do you well, you don't need a level 10. I do have 2 10s, by the way, 2 9s. I would still recommend waiting a long time before, like unless you have extra medals, you have whatever you need for your hero before you think about running something like this, you know. Alright, so where do we have? We have the pelts. Okay, one of the greatest troops in the game, and they have great value in arena. Of course, number one attacking troop. Even like probably more than the undead warriors, given that they're short range. Extremely useful in honor hunting up until the Ice Dragon was introduced, and they're useful in some Infinity Wars. Actually critical in some Infinity Wars. They are semi-useful in Hero Trials. I think they should be... Yeah, they should be right here. I would say... yeah, maybe just right ahead of the Voodoos, just because higher value in arena and Hero Trials and Infinity War. Definitely not on the level of Shadow Ninjas. I can run right now an arena formation without pelts, but I cannot run it without Shadow Ninjas at the top. It doesn't make sense. Okay, Meteor Golems. Meteor Golem, our first legendary troop right now. I don't know if it was the first legendary troop. I'm not sure actually. So, Meteor Golems are phenomenal in arena. They're definitely useful in Hero Trials. They have some value with the Ice Dragon, given the stun they have for control time. Infinity War, they have value. Yeah, I think they go on the same level as, and they're like great tanks. So yeah, I think a B tier. I can't run formations of all of the above without them. So that's why they're on the B tier. They're not definitely on the A. They're not needed. The demon is a tricky one. He's the only legendary tank in the back for the back rank attackers, but you can run them in arena. They're like kind of cute. You know, you can come up with like some tricks with them. Hero trials, I would say similarly. I would not run them for honor hunt. I would not run them for Infinity War. I'll put them, yeah, I think they go right here. Because like I literally can play the whole game without having a single demon and still like get the exact same scores I have right now everywhere. Stone Golem. The Stone Golem is almost a must, I would say, to have. You like this is one of those troops like you have to have a level, at least like a level 10 of. Given the introduction of the Angel, if the Angel wasn't here, I would say this is also an S tier because you cannot play arena without it at any proper level. But with the Angel introduction, that became a trickier. But which hero wouldn't run at least one Stone Golem? I would say with Ali you need them 9, 10. If you have 12 Stone Golems, put them there. Give time for Ali to nuke everyone. They're harder to get given that they're legendary. I think they're on the top of the list in A troops. I think that's only fair. Sorry, no. Again, we're talking across all game modes. They can be useful in Infinity War. Completely and utterly useless in all hero trial honor hunts. They're great everywhere else. I think just given how much value they add in the modes they are in, they are on the top of the B tier. There you go. The Rhino Knights, okay, almost done here. The Rhino Knights and their value is available in arena, in hero trials, some tricks for Infinity War, but they have to be super low level. No value in hero trials and honor hunts. I would put them on the level of like I would run an alley without arcades. I mean, you have to have different strategies, but yes. I didn't expect this to be this long and kind of tiring actually. I've been talking for 40 minutes. Alright, so we did the arcades and right now the Witchcraft Totems. The Witchcraft Totem, they can be useful in arena. They have some tactics. I would say more on attack than defense, but I can see them in like a really tricky form in defense. So useful, I wouldn't say necessary. They became great with the Ice Dragon at level 10. They're even better than Pumpkins at 3.2 second delay control. You don't want them in Infinity War at all. They do the complete opposite of what you want, which is like scaring the troops away instead of punching them up. So they have a negative value there. I think they're, given I have the pumpkin guards, I think like they're right here. I don't know. Maybe here? Yeah, I think they're definitely a D troop. They're not necessarily above that. Alright, the Angel. The Angel has become prominent in arena, both offense and defense. Not as much in hero trial. I mean, it's a tank still, it does some value, we just don't have the reports on it. Infinity War, I've seen some tricks with the Angel. No value shown in hero trial. Some people have been, not hero trial, in honor hunts. Some people have tried in honor hunts and reported that scores were better, but there's also like troop movement, RNG, whatever we want to call it. So I would say Angel, that's a tough one. It also changed the whole game with the retreating part, so it's the only troop that retreats, and you should give it that value, or has the ability to retreat, to move backward at the start of the game. That's a tough one. Where would you rank it? I wouldn't have more than 2 angels level 10 right now. I know what happens at 4 angels level 10. I'm sure some people have it and they're trying to figure out some tricks with it, so I don't know. I think it is fair to put it in here, just from value. Yeah, I think that's fair. Sacred Swordman is at the same level as the Mirror Golem. It's just the swordsmen have the ability to be completely immune to damage when they have the skill, while the Mirror Golem doesn't, but control versus. So I think they're same value. I mean, given a hero trial, I will give the advantage, not hero trial, the honor hunt, I'll give the advantage to the Mirror Golem. Excuse me. My mouth's getting dry. But the Sacred Swordman is definitely useful in Infinity War, Arena, Hero Trials. Not as much in Honor Hunt, but I mean, I'm sure it can do some damage. I'm really not sure. Okay, Frost Archers. They used to be the hype at some point. Right now, not as much. Great control troop, useful in Honor Hunts. I can see them in some Hero Trials. Great in Arena. I think it's only fair to have them in the A. They have a great use in Infinity War too. Yeah, I think it's fair to have them at the A level. Okie doke. So what do we have left? Is the Beastmaster and Pharaoh. The Beastmaster, I want to put it here, but I don't think I'm going to be fair because it has some use if you're running it like in Hero Trials. It's like a good tank, it's confusing. Yeah, but I wouldn't put it anywhere else. Like, I don't know, where do you want to put it? Infinity War maybe, like just as a joke? There's better troops there. I think it's kind of like the king of the East. Yeah, I think that's the most fair. The Pharaoh, so because it creates this curse and then slows troop movement and attack speed. You can use it even on bosses like in Hero and Honor Hunts. I'm not sure if people ran it in Hero Trials. I don't have. I think the highest I have is a level 6. So it's really hard to obtain. It is strong in Arena, of course, but yeah, nothing more than 110. If you have more than 110, Out of War needs to check your account. So with that, I'll put it like right on just. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, so this is my tier list. There's only one S troop, and obviously it's one of the best troops in the game, if not the best troop in the game right now. In my opinion, it is. And I will actually download this, post it in Discord, and hopefully you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Have a great day.